Hello friends, my name is Patty. Welcome again to my channel. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit of a rant maybe, or maybe we can have a conversation about this, but something really strange happened to me yesterday. So I just thought I'm going to share this with you as a solo female traveler. I don't think this case is depending on whether you're solo female or male traveler, but more of a solo travel issue. However, it's something that's never happened to me before, and I've been traveling to many countries for many years solo, so I was a little bit shocked. But I thought I'm going to share it with you and hear your thoughts about it, and maybe let you know that things like this can happen. So yeah, let's go. So at the moment I am in the town of Elbasan in Albania. I was supposed to be here for another 3 days, however I decided to cut my stay here short, and I'm going back to Tirana tomorrow, where I'm going to stay in a hostel. That's why I've decided to film it here, because I'll be staying in a hostel. I don't know if I'm going to have chance to get some privacy. Elbasan itself, it's a little bit of a strange town. Probably it's because it's not extremely touristy. There are some travelers coming here, but the people that I see here on streets, on cafes, in restaurants, those are mainly locals, which for me is fine. That's why I'm here. I came here because I wanted to see a little bit more of a real Albania outside of the backpackers trail. But I don't feel this town, and what happened yesterday kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. So I've just decided I've got 3 days left in Albania, and I really want to leave on a high note. I love Tirana. I've got some work to catch up on, so I'm just gonna cut this visit short, go to Tirana, stay my last 3 days there, and it's going to be easier for me to book my onward bus ticket, because I found it quite challenging to get it done here in Elbasan as well. So all in all, I think this is a good idea. So, but let me tell you what happened. The first time this happened was just like last week, when I was still in Saranda. So I was in Saranda, which is a typical resort, beach town resort. There's few of them like this in Albania. I would probably see the most typical resorts are Saranda and Vlore, with Ksamil being more of a influencer spot with extremely expensive beaches and sun lounges, but incredible water, incredible. I've been there, I went to see it with my own eyes. So I was in Saranda, and as a solo traveler, budget traveler as well, I do try to save money, and whenever possible I cook in a hostel, I cook in a place where I'm staying. But I've noticed that in Albania, it really, you don't really save that much money, because the groceries, unless I would just eat pasta with tomato sauce every day, then maybe I would save money. But I don't really want to eat pasta with tomato sauce every day, because I do this full time, and I need a little bit more nutritious variety. But other than that, even if I go and buy some plain food in a grocery, it really doesn't come cheaper than going out for a meal. I can get a nice stew or traditional Albanian dish for like 600-700 lek, which is 6-7 euros. So the truth is that most of the time in the evening for my dinner, I do go out for a dinner. So this is what I do. I just go out and eat dinner, and I am solo, so I always ask for the table for myself. Sometimes as well, I like to have a glass of wine in the evening. It is much nicer to have a glass of wine in a nice bar on a promenade overlooking the sea, where you can watch people pass by, and it's just nicer, isn't it? And however, in Saranda, I found this really cool rooftop bar. It's actually called, I think, rooftop bar. And I really wanted to go there, because I thought this is going to be a great place to take some photos from, and just right nice place to end the evening, have a glass of wine or small cocktail and just go home to sleep. As I took a lift to the bar, the place, it was quite late. It was around 10 o'clock in the evening. Everything's shutting at 11 o'clock in majority of places in Albania, so it's not like they're gonna go crazy at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I went there and it was half empty. There was probably even less than half tables were occupied by anybody. So I asked for a table for one. I just wanted to sit by the balcony so I can actually snap some photos and just have a nice view with a glass of wine. First he said, how many of you? I'm like, me? He said, no, you can only sit by the bar. I'm like, but you have tables empty all over the place. He said, no, but those are for 2 or 4 people. You by yourself, so you will have to sit at the bar. I could not believe it, to be honest with you. I did not stay there because I didn't want to sit by the bar. It was a round bar in the middle. I think there was some work going on there as well. They were maybe fixing something. So there was like not even people sitting there. So I'll be basically sitting in the middle of the place by myself, looking at nothing. Why would I want to be there? That was not the purpose of my visit. So I was a bit upset. I said to them, but you have all these empty tables. He said, no, nothing we can do. I was like, okay. I left. I did not stay. I didn't want to spend my money there. I did not make too much of it. I thought it's just a one-off. These things happen. You travel. First world problems. You know what I mean? It could be much worse. In the end, I didn't have my glass of wine, which was probably better for my health, my money, everything, and I just went home. 2-3 days later, I got on my bus to Elbasan. So basically, it's all within 1 week. I am staying in the historical part of the Elbasan, where and there is a really pretty traditional taverna style restaurant, which I was already thinking to visit. And then a friend of mine, he noticed on Instagram that I'm here, so he also recommended this place. The food here is amazing. I took a look at the Google reviews and it's super cute. It has few tables on the outside, and it would be perfect place to have an evening meal in Elbasan because other than that, there's really not much to do here. So I went there last night, 7 o'clock in the evening. That is not exactly the prime time for dinner, okay? I think most of people in hot countries eat around 8 or 9, but I might be wrong. Maybe in Albania it's different, but I do believe 8-9 o'clock is like a prime time for dinner. That's the busy time. There was 4 tables on the outside, of which one was occupied by one couple. I could see that they travelers, they tourists as well. That's it. Everything else empty. I stood by one of the tables and I asked the gentleman if I can sit down. He said, just one? I was like, yes. He said, no. I was like, I could not believe it. It was like, it's happening to me second time. And I tried to reason with that again. And I was like, but you have nobody here. There is nobody sitting at the tables. And I'm here willing to pay money for the meal. And I'm not going to be sitting here for I don't know how long, you know what I mean? I have common sense. I know a lot of people don't have common sense, but doesn't matter. He could not judge that. But he said, no. It's a prime time, it's a season, we're still in season, all the tables are just for 4 people or more. Mind you, there was a couple sitting there, but that doesn't matter. He said, no. Quite rude as well. He wasn't even like trying to be slightly apologetic about it. I stood there in disbelief. I looked at that couple, they looked at me, we looked at each other with like big eyes. I'm like, and probably because it happened second time within a week, I could feel like I'm starting to boil inside. And I just went inside and I said to him, thank you very much. I will make sure that I will leave a good review for you on Google. And he said, please leave. I was like, are you kidding me? I'll be honest with you, now it's like, it's been yesterday, so I had enough time to calm down and maybe now laugh about it. But I was genuinely upset. I walked away and I was upset. I sat down and I was like, what just happened? It's not like the place was full, okay? I was not taking any business away from him. The opposite. I would spend money. I would most likely have a nice meal and I probably would have a glass of wine with it. I spent another half an hour walking around the town trying to find a place where I could eat. I could not focus because I was upset. So in the end I found some locals sausage and kofta place where I just had a quick meal and went home basically. And then I obviously thought about it, and I understand the premise. I understand the idea that it's season and one person is going to spend less than 2, 3 or 4, 5 people. And business is business. But the place was empty. And the funny thing is, because I have to pass by this restaurant to go back to my accommodation, so I was coming back like an hour and a half later, 9:30, there was still just one table occupied. Different people, there was like a family of 5, but they still had 3 tables free. So they literally lost money. I'm not saying they lost, I don't know how much money, because I wouldn't spend a fortune, because I am budget traveler in the end of the day. But they lost money. So that's not very business-like thinking, okay? But putting all this aside, like I said, I know it's a first world problem, okay? Worst things could happen to me. I just couldn't eat a nice meal. I didn't go hungry. I ate something. I saved money as well, because I'm sure I would leave 1,000 lek, like 10 euros in the place. I ended up spending 500 lek, so I ended up spending 5 euros on my dinner yesterday. So all in all, I gained, okay, financially. So it's not end of the world, but because this has never happened to me as a solo traveler, I have never been refused something like a meal, a table, or experience, or anything, because I was by myself, because I wasn't bringing enough business, okay? If anything, in a lot of places, I was treated nicely because I was by myself, because I don't know, they would maybe be concerned that I'm lonely, they would talk to me. I really like sitting in restaurants by myself, because I've noticed that the waiters are more chatty, they're more likely to actually talk to you, they ask you where you're from, and this is overall really nice experience for me majority of the time. And I was really curious if that's just here in Albania, or if it's something that happens to people somewhere else. So I went on a couple of forums. As a seasoned traveler, I am part of many traveling forums and Facebook groups. Female travelers, travelers in Balkans, in Europe, in Thailand, in South America. I'm part of many of those groups, which are great, by the way, because you can really exchange thoughts and ideas and recommendations and advice. I highly recommend joining those forums and groups. So I went on my favorite, like a girls traveling group, and I shared my experience, asking if this happened to somebody else. And I was really surprised to hear that it's not an uncommon thing to happen. There are some travelers, they said they were shocked. It never happened to them. They even shocked that this can happen. But then there were a lot of girls that said that it did happen to them. And it's not only the girls, because a couple of girls said that it happened to their male friends, travelers, solo as well, in places like Turkey, for example. But I've heard that this is happening a lot as well in countries like Greece, recently in Italy or Spain. Those were the countries that were mentioned to me most of the time. So basically, one person doesn't bring business, so we will not serve as solo travelers. Which, for me, I mean, there's always two sides of the story, okay? Part of me, independent solo traveler part of me is angry and feel discriminated, okay? I don't like this word, by the way, but I do, because when I travel solo or with somebody else, I have exactly the same right to experience the country. And eating food is part of the whole experience. So if you're traveling to another country, you want to eat this country's food, and you want to sit in a nice local restaurant and have a chat with local people and eat the food. That's part of the experience. And if you cannot do it because you're traveling by yourself, I think it's just not fair. And yes, on the other hand, I understand the business part of it, because if the restaurant, and a lot of us travelers especially, we have common sense. If you have a restaurant full of people, it's busy and there's only one table of 6 or 4, you're either going to eat really quickly, or you're just not going to take it, because I would feel uncomfortable doing that. But if the restaurant is empty, it should not make any difference, okay? But then there's another side to it, the first world problem side to it. We travel to different countries. There are different customs, I don't know, there's different culture and different reality in each country that we travel to. Yes, there are some countries that women cannot sit at the table by herself at all, and I completely appreciate how privileged I am that I can not only leave my country, travel to majority of the countries in the world with the passport that I hold, travel by myself, and I don't have to ask anybody's permission to do that, and also that I can go to the restaurant or go to the bar or to the cafe and have a coffee by myself, and it's just part of my culture and I'm allowed to do that. So I completely appreciate. I don't want to sound like I'm a unappreciative person here, okay? Especially when you travel around the world and you often see the conditions that in the local people live in, and very often going to the restaurant is not even financially possible for many people. So yes, maybe I'm being fussy, maybe I'm just making things up, and I should just appreciate the fact that I am here, and I am appreciating this, okay? But I just wanted to run this by you. I am really curious what your thoughts are on this. Do you think solo travelers should not be able to sit by themselves somewhere? Or I don't know, should we maybe make like a group, like a forum, I don't know, Facebook group somewhere for solo travelers to find companions, to eat dinners and go on trips together, so we can actually do that? Is that where we go in with this? I am obviously well over it now. It's just a dinner, you know what I mean? And I'm going back to Tirana tomorrow. But please let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Should I just don't worry about it? Should I just get on with it? And because that's what's gonna happen. Let me know. I would like to see your point of view. I think it will be very interesting. Please subscribe if you find this interesting. If you like me sharing those travelers, solo travelers thoughts with you. So yeah, if you like this type of content and you would like to see where else I'm going and other crazy adventures that I'm going to encounter, please subscribe, like this video if this is something that you've enjoyed, and please let me know. And this is why I've made this video. I just want to have a little bit of a conversation and see what your thoughts, just kind of verify my point of view, okay? And yeah, in that case, have a wonderful rest of the day, evening, wherever you are. This is the last time you hear from me from Albania, so see you in the next country and take care. Bye bye.